Game 3 vibes up in here. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the pregame lounge. Let's go! Big up yourself. Let's get this thing going here tonight.
Big up yourself. Your blood clot.
Nuggets Warriors, Game 3. We're back here in Denver. We were in the Bay. We were in shitty California for the longest, man. And like so many Californians, we left that place to come here to Colorado. Couldn't wait to get here for Game 3. Nuggets got to turn it around. Gut check time, many would say. The time where we find out what they're really made of. You're dressing like you're ready for vacation over here, Vogt.
No, come on. This is how I work.
That is how you work.
I wear vacation clothes to the most serious of work occasions.
Yeah. How does this age? Mustache.
Yeah. The mustache, a beer belly for sure.
Yeah. Are you going to start listening to Margaritaville a lot and stuff?
You could have just said poorly. How does this age? Poorly. Move on.
Yeah, not well.
Over here, I got D-Line Co. You guys know him as Eric.
Bros, I'm ready to go. 0-0. This is game 1. We're not thinking about what happened. We're only thinking about what's coming. I'm feeling good. Listen, we're back home.
Listen.
The vibes are confusing, but can easily be flipped. It's go time.
Hey, the vibes are not great right now, but you're right. What is it? The vibes you make are equal to the vibes you take. We got to sense it. This is where the Nuggets have to create their own vibes tonight.
And that's why we all did acid before the show.
I'm just saying. I have it on good authority. There's only vibes in the world. Over here, wearing a new Denver Nuggets shirt, fresh for the playoffs.
That is nice.
A man who would say looks resilient. Or no, relentless.
Relentless.
It's Superstar Dev.
Hey, that's credit. You guys are in very, very good mood today. Like a lot better than the other day. Also, the vibes in the bar are great. I just seen Jokic walked across the screen with a suit on.
My God.
And a haircut.
Let's go.
We got Jokic and haircut.
Wow. What if he comes out with a red headband? What if he does that? Man, that would be all of it. It would move.
Yeah, it would. You mean the line, or?
That'd be funny. DraftKings moved the line based on a headband. They're like, I don't know. It is Nuggets Warriors Game 3. We're going to talk about break glass in case of emergency, guys. Tonight, Michael Malone has referenced it for the last 3 days. Like, they are ready to throw any Hail Mary that it takes. We're going to talk about what that might mean, who the guy is, and what you'd be keyed in on. We're also going to talk about just what would a win mean to you. Honestly, this is the point we're at right now where it's like, what would one win, especially tonight, what would it mean to you? Because it's weird that tonight's win would actually carry more weight than most games. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to have that genius over there at the end. He's going to make us some money on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. But first, Vogt, you got some game notes for us.
Michael Malone on the non-negotiables tonight with his players. We have not been physical. We have not been aggressive. We have not been vocal. And they have not felt us through 2 games. That cannot be the case. And so Malone then took that question and used it as an opportunity to reveal the spark plug he was talking about. I'm going to play Facu Campazzo tonight because he knows that with Facu, he doesn't have to wonder if he's going to play hard, if he's going to be physical, if he's going to, leave it out all on the floor, the Facu traits. That's the one thing that you can write in stone when it comes to Facu. And so he says, if I'm going to go down, I'm going down swinging. I'm going to try things. I'm going to put players out there that want to fight and want to be physical.
I honestly wonder if Malone sat Facu down and said, hey, we have to go down swinging. And Facu's like, say less. I got you. I'm swinging on. Who is it you want me swinging on? He's like, no. Metaphorically. He's like, yeah, I know. I got you. Just point to the guy, and I got you.
There's a crazy quote about a player who last played and got ejected for fighting someone.
That's what I'm saying.
For no reason.
This is like Facu. Have you guys? What's that movie, The Breakup? Do you guys remember the outtake where he's asking him if he wants him to kill a guy, and he's like, "You don't have to say it. I get it." This is what Facu was doing with him.
I didn't watch the extra features of The Breakup.
Oh, it's really good. You should check it out. There's also a director's commentary.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, on the DVD. It's really good.
What was the motivation behind that scene? Did they reveal it, or is it left up to the?
There was a lot of influences.
Sort of like, that's good. I'll check it out later. Kale, check your Slack, please.
There's a balance. There's a balance here for the Nuggets to try to strike as they play with urgency, but not desperation. They got to play so hard. They got to play like the season's on the line, but they also need to know when to slow down and play their preferred pace. We're in a Pinto. They're in a Maserati.
It sucks so bad.
It does suck.
Malone's insulting ourselves. He's really turning into Doug Moe.
Bunch of stiffs out there.
Yeah, it's like
He's a step away. Yeah.
he's a step away
a
from
step
just
away.
calling everybody stiffs. Oh, how did you forget this? Come on, Kale.
No,
But-
that's my fault. That's my fault.
Eric,
That's
come
my bad.
on,
That's my bad.
Eric.
Listen.
Explain what we have to interrupt.
Hold
Time out. We interrupt this broadcast.
We started off this show on the wrong foot.
Oh,
Obviously,
really
we were going
did.
to cut it, start it over. Everybody find the link again.
right.
Blah, blah, blah. What's up, everybody? There's the newest, most greatest addition to our set, given to us by the one and only Molly Hunt. She has graced and blessed us all with a stuffed Bubba, complete with red headband. She's the queen. She's the reason we're going to get a win tonight.
Oh
Vibes
my
are
God,
immaculate.
Bubba.
Nothing's ever been better. In honor of the second charity horse that we all rose up and sponsored. I think it looks like Handsome is in the lead. If you haven't voted, go ahead and vote to find out where that goes. But anyway, Molly has blessed us all. It's a guaranteed victory. Let's go.
3 gnomes and a
You
horse,
can't
baby.
lose with that. You
You
just
can't lose.
can't.
We're not
vibes
losing
are
tonight,
like,
guys.
They were
Not
already
losing
great.
tonight.
Now they're immaculate.
So as Malone was saying, or as I was saying about what Malone was saying, they need to slow down, play their preferred pace. We have to find a way to get easy baskets tonight, sure, but we also have to understand when to slow it down, when to play through Nikola. Strong agree on that last part. I would do that as much as possible. Starters, there is some talk about Steph Curry eventually returning to the starting lineup, but not tonight, fellas. Steph Curry will come off the bench again in Game 3. Same starters for the Warriors. Poole, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, Looney. Have not seen an update to the Nuggets, although I would assume that starting lineup, as Malone said in practice, will not change. He's liked the way they've played in the first quarter, of course.
Right. All right, well, let's move on to the break glass guy, because one of the big stories tonight, obviously you referenced it, Facundo Campazzo is going to play. Look, if you told me all the things that are going on with the team right now, and we break down the film and we do all this different stuff, the different adjustments that are being made, there's really one story that trumps all of that, and that is that the Nuggets are getting punked because they are coming out here like they are really soft. This is the softest the Nuggets have ever looked, and I feel like the Warriors know that. So, Facu, say what you will about his effectiveness, say what you will about his plus-minus or any of this stuff over the season. The one thing he always does is play hard, and he's not afraid to get in people's face. He got in Rubio's face. He got it. Who was it that he punched or he knocked the other day? Who was it? Wayne Ellington? No, like Facu will punch your grandma. Like, he's ready to go. So tonight, the Nuggets don't need anything dirty, and I sincerely hope, like, the Nuggets can't embarrass themselves tonight. I don't want him diving
Can't
at
be
Play
people.
embarrassed.
hard. Play
Us
basketball.
tonight.
He can't embarrass us tonight. But Facu tonight, I do hope somebody has to give this lineup a little bit of pride. And I do hope that that's one thing that he definitely can give this team is just get out there and guard. So he's a break glass in case of emergency guy. Dev, what do you expect from Facu tonight?
I expect for him to be who he truly is. Like, he's a player that, just adds that one little wrinkle into, this is crazy. The one wrinkle into, like, the whole series. Like, you can't game plan for Facu. Like, you know that he's going to play hard. You know he's going to get under guys' skins. You know he's going to bring that intensity on both ends of the floor. But also, he's going to just provide a spark that Denver just clearly does not have right now. You don't want him to score. You want him to just be himself. So getting everyone else involved, finding the right man. If he makes a mistake, he gets back. But he's going to play defense hard the entire time, and they just need some type of burst. And I think that he can provide that.
What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, man. I mean, Facu is absolutely. I don't know if he's in maybe like a toy Maserati, or like that man's engine runs, right? Like,
right.
He's going to be able to, whoever it is that he's ultimately put on. I mean, his defense is not is oftentimes the reason that people look at him and say that he's a liability, but he can at least keep up with whoever it is running crisscross back and forth. And I just love the idea, I don't love that we're having to go to Facu, but like it says a lot about where the series has gone to this point. But there's no, I don't hate just injecting pure energy, which is what
Right.
Facu is. Like, he's the exact antithesis of Jeff Green.
It's very true. Very true. You're Tiny King, man. It's your turn.
Hey, he's going to play hard, and that's such a low bar, but that is where we're at. There
I
are
know.
guys who have
That's the
failed
thing.
to clear that bar, so, not surprised to see it eventually. And that is something you can pen him in for. I mean, he will do that. He will put the effort out there. He will leave it all on the floor. There can be a backfire element to him
Man, that's
getting
a great
under
point.
guys' skin. And sometimes like guys like Steph, I think almost take it personally when it's like, oh, Facu's supposed to slow me down. Like, come on. But how about this? I think with the way they're playing on a string right now offensively, I would almost rather any one of their stars succumb to ego ball than they just keep moving it. So it's worth a shot. He's going to play hard. What's it going to cost you, right? As opposed to what he can give you.
Also, like, how many minutes is he going to play?
Facu?
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing I wanted to talk about.
Who does he play for?
Well, here's the thing is, I don't think you can put him out there in their big lineup. Like, the Warriors do this thing where they play a couple really great lineups, one dominant lineup, and then they play a couple that are not so great. You got to put him out there. Like, Poole doesn't play a ton of minutes without Steph, but you got to find that one. Without Draymond, without Steph, but Poole's on the court. To me, that's the minute you put him out there. Get things a little physical with guys who aren't necessarily, as prepared as, say, Steph and Draymond. Like, guys have gotten physical with Steph and Draymond in the past, and they rise above it. They're veterans. They know how to do this. Poole's the guy that you got to test, and I'm just, even if it's that little bit, that could make a huge difference. So
what scares me though is Malone also talked about pushing back with more offense against that group.
Yeah,
Facu doesn't help.
Well, let me ask you this: who do you have more confidence in hitting a three tonight? Jeff Green, Aaron Gordon, or Facu Campazzo?
Jeff Green.
Jeff Green did hit a couple in game one.
I would say Jeff Green as well.
I have faith in Facu hitting shots.
I get what you're saying. I get the point.
Yeah. The one thing that really helps me mentally with Facu is he's a guy that can stay with the guards on the screens. And also he's going to get a couple of screens just because he's so small. If you try to he could maybe get Draymond into foul trouble, but he's a guy that he's so small that when he gets knocked over and things like that, that's an extra call that Denver can get. And he's also willing to fight through screens and things of that nature. So maybe you get an extra player or two, but also you have a guy that is going to be willing to just stick with the guy the entire time. So you give him the Steph Currys, you give him a Jordan Poole assignment, and just try to have him just give him different looks. Yeah, that he is pestering him. Where even if Steph Curry takes it personal, he's shooting the ball, and this is a guy that stays close to him. As long as he stays honest and he's just not fouling the entire time, he changes some things, and I think that's what he adds.
The guy, when I was at the arena, I went to the arena tonight because I wanted to be there for the pregame warm-ups. I wanted to be there for the scrum and this or that. Zeke Naji went through a very intense workout with the coaching staff, with the training staffs. He wasn't just I've seen him go through and they'll do their shooting drills and you're just doing basic stuff. You're not game. Tonight they were game planning him. They had a guy that was being the Steph Curry role and they were going over how to guard it. I think Zeke Naji's playing tonight. And more importantly, Facu has an important role tonight. I think it's to get physical and mix it up. I wouldn't be surprised though if the big question is, what do you do when the Warriors throw out their, whatever we're calling this new death lineup, whatever it is.
Just
we don't
death
know.
Lineup,
yeah,
works.
We're trying to death 2, the second death Star 2. All right, we're getting a little nerdy here. Whatever. But whatever this new lineup is that crushes the Nuggets right now, that's really the biggest question that this series has. Does Denver have an answer to it? Zeke Naji to me is a Hail Mary because he hasn't played. He's been injured. He's been hurt, this or that. But if you said just from a skill set standpoint, he can guard as well as anybody else on this roster. He can shoot the three, and he's big enough body that he's way bigger than Andrew Wiggins. And by the way, when they had him doing offensive workout, defense, it was all how to get up on Steph Curry and this or that. Offensively, pounding it inside, hey, and they were even going over the hey, it's Wiggins, you got to do this or this or this. He was just going on trying to dunk it through contact. So to me, I think Zeke Naji is the break glass in case of emergency guy to try to combat that lineup. And I'll tell you what, it's either feast or famine. But the Nuggets have been in a 2-game famine, so it's almost like it's feast or the same.
Yeah, what? We're in a famine.
Yeah, we're in a famine.
We'll eat the locusts.
Dev, who are the 3 best perimeter defenders on the Denver Nuggets?
On the Nuggets?
Yeah.
Why would you ask me some shit like that?
That's impossible. You're asking me where something is in IKEA.
How long do you go before you get to Zeke Naji, though? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. He's up there, right?
And he is, but also in a setting where it's just screens the entire time. I'm not sure what type of defender Zeke Naji is. I think that he can defend in space, but I don't see him just actually having to get through screens with his size and just how big he is and trying to get through that. And then also the communication aspect. There was times before he was injured that he was talking, he was the communicator, but we haven't seen it in so long. And they're going to just keep running at him. They're going to keep going after him. So I do think that he's one of the top defenders, but I would like to see it in this type of setting. So maybe we do get that opportunity.
You know the one thing we're not talking about?
Celine Dion.
I've evened out my mustache.
We haven't talked about that.
I fixed it. Neither side is connected now. Only one side was connected before. And if I go down low enough, the mic blocks the bottom, and it looks like I just have a mustache. I love it. We're going to win.
Thank you for that very important update. That was really big. I wanted to just quickly go here. I'll ask only Dev. I'll ask only Dev this question. So when they go to their death line to end the second quarter, and presumably the third and fourth quarter if we get that far into this game, but the second quarter, if we get there, what is the lineup that you think gives Denver the best chance, even if it's just a puncher's chance, like it's a Hail Mary play? What's the 5 on the court for that?
I think it's the starters. Like, I still do.
What?
I think it's the starters. I really don't think that
Didn't we just do this for 2 games?
Yeah, but you have to go with it because I don't think there's anything better.
Yeah, there is.
I personally don't. Like, I just feel like the starters that they have, if guys step up, if guys, Aaron Gordon per se, and Will Barton knocks down shots, that changes things. But other than that, I feel like you're just throwing like shots in the dark where you're just trying to hope for something.
What about a hack of Draymond? Like the Warriors right now in that lineup are scoring 2 points every time down court. Like, honestly, they're 2 points. Draymond's might make 3 out of every 4 free throws. That would be a better defensive strategy at the moment. It might be something to do. But no, I honestly think there is a better option here. You got to go. Obviously, Yoke's on the court. I think you go with Monte, Bones, Barton, and Zeke Naji. And people are going to look at this lineup and say this is insane. And you could make you could put J. Mike if you wanted in for Zeke Naji, or you could put in Austin Rivers for Will Barton, but I think he gives you a little bit less of a chance. Here's the thing. You're not going to stop them. Can you score as often as possible? And if you go Bones, Monte, Zeke, Barton, you've got 4 guys that are your best 4 three-point shooters. You spread them out. Zeke Naji also can go in and hopefully punish you inside. Are they going to get stops? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
By no means.
By no means are they going to get stops. But again, you could have a bad defensive stretch and have a 150 defensive rating, like instead of a 205 defensive rating.
Honestly,
which is what they're doing right now.
Keeping them out of transition by making your shots can have as much of a positive effect as.
So that's why to me Zeke Naji does make a little bit of sense. Again, if you go with JaMychal Green there, you're going to probably make fewer threes, but you're going to maybe draw more fouls, which is the other way you punish a lineup like that is you make them like, we're winning the minutes, but man, Draymond picked up 2 fouls in this stint.
Yep.
Like, okay, they get nervous for that. So to me, I know a lot of people probably in the comment are like, what the hell is that lineup? Guys, it's Hail Mary time. I don't think you can just go to the safe lineup because right now there is no safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the point. Like, you can't go to the safe lineup if there is no safe lineup.
That's what I'm saying. But there is still this idea of like,
the idea
we
of, like,
have
the starter,
to play it
right.
safe. And it's like,
Oh, man. I hope Aaron Gordon shows up tonight. Holy cow, do I hope Aaron Gordon
well, let's
shows
get
up
to the
tonight.
next part. What does this mean? What does it mean to you? The Nuggets get a win tonight. What would it mean to you?
A lot, man. A lot. I want to celebrate the way they pushed through this year.
Yeah.
But it gets that much harder to do if they just roll over at the very end. So, first of all, F that. That's loser talk. If they win tonight, it's 2-1. I mean, it's
Thank you. That was the number one.
The math is like this. The math of a series is a wild thing. The Warriors could not have won those games in any more dominant fashion.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
But they only count for 2. You win
Exactly.
this one, and you're right back in it.
It's so true.
But then there's also the pride that the fans want to feel, the pride that we want to feel with our vested interest and relationship with the team. And the pride that the Nuggets should want to feel, that Aaron Gordon's got pride on the line tonight. Jokic has pride on the line tonight. Will Barton has pride on the line tonight. So I want to feel pride, and I want to have fun with Nuggets faithful. And I don't want to just do it one last time, but if I can only get it one last time, I want it then.
You can solidify this resilient identity with
Yeah.
like coming back in the series and getting back into it. Even if you don't win it, just getting back into the series because
Just push back.
right
Just
now
push
they look
back.
like a team that got punched and is folding. But if you come back from what looked like completely dire circumstances, it's like, hey man, hell yeah. That culture that you've worked for 6-7 years to
Right.
build, it's still there. Whereas if you lose this one and go out, sad,
Right.
maybe you have to look at that and go like, hey, has our culture gone? Eric, what does it mean?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. This Nuggets team is predicated on the idea that they don't skip steps, they don't back down.
Right.
Any other marketing slogans we've come up with over the last several years, but I mean, they're true. I mean, the whole culture and the whole idea of this Nuggets squad is that we have a 41st pick that is the MVP, that is leading, that nobody saw coming, that nobody
preach
gave a chance.
this one. Preach it.
we have all these players that, are cast-offs and sort of like,
the starting lineup is 3 second-rounders, Jeff Green and Aaron Gordon.
Yes. And they've made it work, and they've made it, it's a tall task. We've all known it's going to be a tall task, bordering on impossible to actually make real noise in the playoff, given the fact that we are missing 2 max-level players, which people refuse to acknowledge as a factor, which is like the most hardo football attitude ever, to act like 2 of your top 5 players being out wouldn't be a big deal. Like if you lost your quarterback, people wouldn't be like, why don't they just play harder? Anyway, it would mean a lot if the Nuggets would just show up and show pride and make us feel like we are behind something that is meaningful, not only to us, but to them and to the city. And it's something that the Nuggets have been working towards, the culture.
It's out.
It's a real buzzkill.
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, okay. Anyway, go Nuggets.
Did you already go?
No, but really, I think it would mean like a lot, like really to everyone that had to endure this season.
Yes.
And it's also like it's backing Yoke and showing like, hey, like there's still brightness to this team. There's still a bright spot to this season, and also it's right where you're supposed to be at 2-1. Like you lost on the road. That's what teams do. That's what you're designed to do. So, like, right now, you're right exactly where you're supposed to be. But also, it shows that you can make adjustments. So, like, now you get to answer that. It shows that you can fight back against a very, very good defense, a team that looks like one of the best teams in the entire NBA right now. That's very healthy, and you are not. So, it shows that you can dig deep when times are rough. Like, and you've shown us that the entire year. So, one win does that, and I think it answers a lot.
And, I mean, frankly, like, you hear the talk, the chatter around the Denver Nuggets, not only nationally but around town. Like, I mean, they are getting absolutely punked by everybody that is able to type or talk. And the Nuggets are at this weird impasse, or this weird crossroads where they can sort of accept that and just sort of like embody that. And like, it'll be a long time before they're able to shake that in the minds of those who don't pay attention to this team, don't care about them. This is a big narrative game. This is a bit like plain and simple. I mean, like, I don't want to go on Twitter tomorrow. It would mean a lot to me if I could go on Twitter tomorrow.
It would be fun to be able to go back on. I mean, that's it. Number one, you get back in the series, and number two, it is a bit of a saving face, and like an appropriate saving face. Like they should feel terrible about themselves if they just go out sad again in this game. You know, even if you lose this one, you just got to show that fight. You got to show that resolve. So that's why. But also back in the series, I can't wait. We win this one. Guess what we're talking about tomorrow?
What does it take to even up the series?
What does it take to even up the series, which is going to be the best? That's what we want to get to, not instead of like, how sad are you?
Right.
I don't want to do a how sad are you show.
I don't either.
I also, man, like, there's so many people in the bar. There's just nothing better than when the Nuggets do their thing.
Hell
and
yeah.
we get to do
Dude,
our thing.
I want to hug for happiness, not for comfort.
Yeah,
That's
man.
so true. That's so true.
I'm hugging either way, though.
Let's make some money. Hey, happy or sad, we can always make some money. We do have one super chat. It came in. Wait, we have two super chats. The first
let's
one,
freaking go.
$10 from Ryan Toast. He says,
super
chat.
Dude,
Thank you.
Yes,
Hell
thank
yeah.
you.
That was so
no
great.
one is saying this.
Nobody is saying it. Jack says, the death lineup, according to Warriors fans, is PTSD. I mean,
Poole,
like, whatever.
Thompson,
It's
Steph,
a little
Draymond.
weird.
Can we just call it the death
heavy,
lineup?
little heavy. Like,
Can we just
we should just call it the death lineup. Still the Warriors.
Everyone's like, what should we call this death lineup? I'm like, sounds like you got it figured out.
Yeah, I think, that's so true. It's so true. We're all calling it the death lineup.
Yeah, just
so
to stick with
it's
that.
the death lineup. If Harrison Barnes gets to be part of
That's
the
what I'm
death
saying.
lineup,
Jordan
then we
Poole
just,
can be.
like, Harrison Barnes is somehow here.
PTSD is good. I mean, I realize there's sensitivity with mental health. I feel PTSD many times having been against that lineup.
Yeah, for sure. That's what
But
it's gonna
I
lead
get
us
it.
on with.
You're right. Death lineup. All right, let's go.
Death, not so sensitive. Go ahead. What do we got, Dev?
Denver is a lot closer in this game. They
know.
have the spread all the way down to 2.5. So they think there's going to be adjustments. They think that there's going to be changes, and it's going to be a lot closer than what
They heard
we've seen.
Zignaji, and they were all
And that
in.
makes me happy. Like, maybe they heard about Facu. Maybe they heard about Zignaji. They just know there's going to
Maybe
be
you haven't
some
heard
type
about
of change.
I
Facu.
bet the bookmakers did not. They're like, who? Wait.
So like I mean that really does like make you excited. I'm gonna stay away from the line. I'm not sure if we feel. I just haven't seen enough for the
I don't
Nuggets
like
to
that.
win.
I hate
I want
lines.
them to. I want them to win. I want them to win. I'm not betting for them to win.
Oh, okay.
So what I will bet on is I think that there's a lot of bounce back spots for players. I feel like Monte Morris is a player that has not, did a lot in this series.
I
and
like
he
that.
hasn't had his moment.
All right.
And I think that at home in front of the home arena, he's a guy that like plays to the crowd. He's a guy that like wants to show like we do have a fight to us, and that's just who Monte has been. Like when all odds are against him, he steps up and he shows up. So I think that this is a game that he will bounce back in. I think he's going to do it in scoring. They have his line at 11.5. I'm going to take the over.
Just took it. Got it.
I like that.
Locked in.
Locked in.
I think that, it's hard to always go with it, but I think that
Aaron
Aaron Gordon's going to play.
Oh,
No,
no.
I'm not going to go with the points. I think that rebounds. I think this is a game that
What?
he's going to try to rebound in and be involved on that. It's at 5.5. I'm going to take
Minus 150 though.
Yeah, but I really do. It's for a reason. Like they understand that, and I think that he's going to try to be active because he's not scoring the basketball. I don't expect him to score the basketball right now, so I think he does it in different ways.
man.
So you could do the rebounds, or you could even put it together with rebounds and assists for him only.
Just rebounds and assists?
You can do that.
You can?
Yeah, my lock.
Oh,
what
boy.
I really love
boy. Get ready.
I'm not ready for this.
that
I'm
we're
gonna be so
going to
mad.
bet on.
Okay.
This is going to be a yoke game. Like this is going to be his game of the playoffs. I feel like he's going to have a monster game. They have his points way, way, way too low at 29.5. I think we see
way
a
too low?
40-point game. I do.
Wow.
I think we see 40-plus from Jokic
Can I
tonight.
tell you, I went and looked at Game 3 against the Suns just to kind of get them. Yoke 32, 20, and 10. They lost, but of course he came out that game and like he came out
They
like a
lost,
monster.
Yeah, and I think that happens again tonight. I really do think that he's going to have a monster game where he's going to have a chance to like win the game himself. I really do think that this is the yoke game.
Okay,
Let's
I'm
just
in. I
bet
love it. You're
Let's just
singing,
bet
you're
it.
singing my music right
my
now.
body is ready for a yoke game.
Oh, I'm so freaking ready.
My body is ready for the Utah Jazz to
how is-
lose to the Dallas Mavericks again.
Yo, Memphis
Oh, yeah.
came back from 20
Yeah, I
down in
know.
the fourth quarter.
I know.
Up
It's
3 now.
incredible. I mean, talk about resiliency, man.
fucked.
This is it. Do we want to build a quick single game parlay, Eric?
Yeah, let's hurry.
I can do it here. I can do it. You can get on board with me though.
Yeah, I'll give you my
3-pointers.
clue.
We gotta get Bones 3
Yo,
tonight?
Bones threes,
Are we
yes.
getting
2
two of them?
plus, 2 plus.
All right, we're
2
gonna start
plus.
with Bones. I think we're gonna get Monte 3.
1, yes.
It doesn't really do anything for us, to be honest.
Let's. And I like this being a yoke game also. Like, let's
So
take
Jokic
points.
rebounds. We want to go Jokic or points. I think rebounds.
Both
man.
actually, rebounds and points.
We're gonna go to Jokic rebounds. All right, let me see what I can get value at here.
They're gonna lose.
I can't believe that Memphis is going to win this game. This
I
is
can't either.
unbelievable.
I'm gonna take 11.5 rebounds from
Yeah,
Jokic.
by the way, have we even mentioned that this is a Jokic haircut game?
We did.
The most
You-
precious of all games.
You
We
must
did?
not have heard it at the
Oh.
very beginning, but we did talk about it. What about my favorite one? Where are my other stats? They don't have steals. They don't have steals on here. What a bummer. Oh yeah, you can get Jokic steals. I'm gonna take 1 Jokic steal. Maybe actually, what about Jokic blocks?
Whoo!
I'm gonna take 1 Jokic
Yes, take a
block.
All right.
One block.
What is the skills
Okay.
at?
So here's it is.
Actually, the block,
It's,
man.
it's
I like
just
the
you can
block.
take 1 steal,
I
1
got
block.
Bones 2 threes. I got Jokic 11.5 rebounds. Jokic 1 block. Lock it in.
Lock
we get
it in.
plus 265 value. Why not?
Let's
That's what we
freaking
got.
go.
All right, guys. That is it for the Game 3 pregame show.
I'm
We're gonna
feeling
see you
it.
back. We're feeling
Here we
it,
go.
baby.
Let's go, dude.
Here
We're
we
going
go.
to be right back here in the lounge afterwards. Hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you then.